Hey, this is Lee Agbola with LTAPerformance, and in this video you will learn what you need to stop doing to lose weight on your journey. Now, it's very frustrating when you lose weight and then you gain more weight than you originally started. And this is so common when you make a critical mistake that I'm going to go into in this video. You don't want to fall in the trap of more than 90% of people after a successful weight loss journey. So be sure to stick around and like and subscribe to the video. So, within helping hundreds of lives transform in my 9 years of coaching, I have seen how many of my clients have came to me within the making the mistake that I'm going to tell you that you need to stop doing. Now, it's very important that you put the right habits in place and don't do things that are just focused on quick fixes. Remember, quick fixes don't solve any problems. The leaky roof isn't going to be solved if you don't fix it properly, right? When it comes that rainy day, it's still going to come flooding in that house, right? So you need to understand why it's so critical not to be just focused on losing weight. Do it the right way so you can build your healthy lifestyle. So you need to stop going on a very low calorie diet. So what I characterize as very low calorie is something that isn't sustainable and something that isn't really helping fuel your body. Now, of course, when it comes to losing weight, you do need to get in calorie deficit. A calorie deficit simply means that you need to burn more calories than taking in. Even though this is true, if you do it to a very low level, it can have very bad effects on what you want to really happen within your body. So if you're supposed to have at least 2,000 calories a day and you drop yourself all the way to 1,200, you're going very low calorie and you will have an effect that you will start to notice. So what's the big one? Is really starving yourself. When you think about it, when you start going through feeling like you're starving yourself, what is going to happen? So even if you set this goal, hey, I'm going to do it for 3 months, I want to lose 80 pounds, because you go very restrictive and you're like trying to lose like 4 pounds a week, you may get some success. Let's say within those 3 months, I'm going to say you may get some success. It's going to be a very small number of people that this is going to happen to, but I have seen people get success doing this and lose a bunch of weight real fast. But then they simply just go back to what they were doing and they gain more weight than they really started. So even though they lost a lot of weight very quickly, they actually gained more weight, over time, and they were actually in a worse spot than they began with. Like I said, this is a dangerous cycle that many people go on because they're so focused on losing weight, but they don't focus on doing it the right way. So when you try to lose weight very fast, and like I said, you're really trying to make it happen like as quick as possible, even though you're going very low calorie and you're going to lose weight, you have to understand what the effects are going to do. And number one is, how quick you're going to be able to gain that weight back on very fast by doing that. Because it's a critical step you don't want to do, right? You don't want to do something that's not sustainable. So if it's not really sustainable, it's not for you. So it's okay to do something maybe more aggressive to get ready for a trip and all these other things. But if you're not really understanding, how to turn this into your overall diet improving over time, and you just think, I'm just going to go back to what I was just doing, then you're going to have some major problems there, right? It's going to be an issue. We don't want to have that happen, right? You don't want to fall in that trap of just trying to get the instant gratification by really losing really fast. So that's really going to cause a problem for you. So let's not go super fast into overdrive thinking I'm going to just try to lose as much weight as possible. I don't care what I do, I'll do it at all costs. It's not you're a tougher, person because you can go very aggressive and you can basically go close to levels of feeling like you're starving yourself. That's nothing to really prove. But what happens is you're going to actually cause effects that your body is going to have to basically repair itself over time. So what are more of the effects? One, slowing your metabolism down. Slowing your metabolism down is what leads to you gaining more weight than you originally started. So remember, your metabolism is based off of a few factors, right? We can think of your age, your sex, your activity levels, how much muscle you have. There are some genetics that some people are just going to have faster metabolism, some people are going to have slower metabolism, some are just going to have average metabolisms. So there's some different factors that play a part. But when you lose weight so quick, your body is going to have to make necessary adjustments. Remember, your body is here to survive. So when you start losing calories when you start cutting your calories by a lot and you start losing weight, your body is going to adapt. That's part of the necessary adaptations our body makes. We adapt to the situations that we're put in an environment. So your body's going to be able to, really, let's say, slow you down, basically. It wants to slow you down so you're not losing so much so you can keep that weight on. So this is thinking from a pure survival perspective. So what happens is now your metabolism, let's say you started at 250 and you drop 60 pounds really fast and you're now 190, your metabolism isn't at the level of someone that's 190 usually because you've gone through a very fast period of a diet. So your body has slowed down your metabolism to a very lower level than somebody that's 190. So what that does is cause you, when you go back to just going where you didn't care before with your diet, you're going to gain way more weight faster because now your metabolism is slower than it originally began with. So it's going to be a lot easier to gain weight versus the other person, right? That may have started at 190 that has, been at 190 over time. So this is very critical as far as why, like I said, I gave that statistic, and I know some will argue about that statistic. I have seen within talking to many people that number is right. So within that happens is, you're going to gain more weight than you originally started. Like I said, within 2 years, this happens to many people. Like I said, numbers say over 90%. Like I said, you can argue with it, but I have talked to tens of thousands of people and I've seen it happen. So it's something you want to avoid. You got to think about what are the effects it has. So when you're slowing your metabolism down, you're going very low calorie, what are you doing to some of the other parts of your body? Think about your muscle. This is a very active tissue, so muscle has a lot of important functions for our body that goes beyond just looking great, right? You're going to look great if you got muscle in your body, of course, right? And you're shaping your body. You're going to look good on the beach, but it's also what it does for your body. So as you eat away at that muscle as well, same thing, that plays a part of you slowing your metabolism down. So it's kind of like you're going to double whammy because your body's already going to make adjustments, but now you have less muscle tissue. So the metabolism where you may have, even if you weren't somebody that was very active before, you're still going to carry a certain amount of muscle for how much weight you carry on because your body still has to move that weight each and every day. So it has to have a certain amount of muscle to be able to do that. So you lower it less than that, you can see the effects that it's really going to have. So this is something that's critical to do is watch what it does to your metabolism. We don't want to slow it down to that level. Just think about also what's going to happen when you're on the diet. What else is happening? When you eat very low calories, what happens on the weekend? Cheat days. So when you typically go very low calorie and you go over time, your body's hormones levels of hunger is going to go up. So when those levels start to go up, it's going to want you to go to those cravings that you love. So think about the burgers, the tacos, the pizza, the wings, right? The things that you probably have cut out completely because you went super low calorie. Now your body's going to crave it even more. So when you're driving and you smell it from a drive-through, or you go out and you're around other people, even though you're saying, I am on my diet and I can eat, that temptation is going to start playing a part. When you go to other gatherings, it's going to play a part where you're just going to have a rebellion and really go all out. And probably, if you have 1 or 2 days and you go in this binge and you just keep going, you're like, I don't care. And you look on the next following week and you see that scale and you're like, oh my gosh, I gained so much weight, you may feel very discouraged and give up. I've seen this happen to many people I've talked to, and you've probably experienced it, right? Because you've seen some progress and then you see some of your progress go away, you feel defeated. It's not a good feeling to see what that does to it, right? It doesn't really help you, right? So it's not a good feeling when you do that. So going very low calorie is actually going to cause more issues to happen as far as temptations, you wanting to rebel and get off of it. And really, you're going to have the guilty feeling after it happens, even though it could be very easy for you just to get back on track. But how hard is that to do when you see some of your progress go on because you had a couple of days of binging and it feels like, oh my gosh, all my hard work is over, right? This happens and you probably experienced it yourself, right? So going very low calorie is going to cause more issues as far as your hormones playing more of you being hungry. And like I said, of you having more temptations, what your mind is going to do and play really those tricks to tell you, hey, you need to eat more of those cravings you want. And what that does is, like I said, you lose the progress you have and then you feel defeated. And then it causes the same thing of what I just said for somebody that even slows their metabolism down. You're going to gain more weight in the process. You're just going to give up. You go back to what you're doing. We want to avoid this, right? You don't want to fall in this trap. This is very critical for you. And really, lastly, to summarize this, when you go up very low calorie, think about the overall bigger picture, right? You want the healthy lifestyle to give the benefits that we all want out of life, right? We all have our different things that we're looking to have out of life. Just the same way as you accumulate a certain amount of wealth and you want financial freedom to be able to take care of all your necessary needs and wants in life, the same thing happens with the healthy lifestyle. You don't get that when you just go in very, low calories and you don't understand the bigger picture of how this is going to translate to habits. You're not really building habits when you're going very low calorie. You think, well, I'm just being more disciplined. Discipline is part of it, right? Getting yourself to do it even when you don't want to do it. That's part of it, but that's not all that comes in within it. There's other habits that are part of it that makes you really understand why you want to have this healthy lifestyle, right? If it's having more energy so you can be more productive at work, within your business, being able to come home to the kids and be able to play around with them, right? Going on the basketball court and showing that, hey, I still got it, right? These are some of the things that you want, right? Looking great, right? Fitting into the pair of jeans that you may have fit back in college, high school, or before your marriage. You want, or, before you even had kids, right? These are some of the things that we want, and we get a benefit from that, right? Of feeling good, understanding how, you're not tired after, walking down a flight of stairs, right? Or when you're moving things, you can pick the stuff up without hurting yourself and having, issues that lead to injury, right? You protect yourself against injuries, removing the pain that you've been going through because now you're living a healthy life by, properly fueling yourself and actually, working out consistently. Like, these are the things we understand. So you're not really getting out of just going, low calorie because you're not getting those things. You're not building those true habits of it. So you really miss out on it. Like I said, it's just like a get rich quick scheme. You're not really getting to financial freedom. You're not building wealth. These are very similar as far as you understand it, right? If you want financial freedom with your wealth, you want a healthy lifestyle to give you the longevity and the benefits from it, you got to understand it's about the habits. You're not building it by trying to starve yourself, right? You may think you're, really doing something because you're like, hey, I built discipline. But that discipline is short-lived if you can't keep that focus. And really, that doesn't mean you're tougher than somebody else because you can do it for 36 months. It's about doing it for a lifetime. If you can't keep doing it, like I said with the first point, if it's not sustainable, it's going to cause you issues over time. You're not going to get the true benefits of it, right? We don't want this to happen. So this is very critical that you understand to actually really create the healthy lifestyle you want. And by following diets that don't really instill these habits and principles, you're really losing out of it. So you don't want to lose out on it. You deserve to have the lifestyle you dream about. So let's not follow these practices that we think is going to help us. In reality, it hurts us. So stop going low calorie on your journey. Let's do it the right way. Build the habits. So let me know what you got out of this video. Do you believe that going low calorie is the best route to go because you feel like you need to lose a bunch of weight really quick and it doesn't matter? Or do you feel that if you understand how building habits is going to work? Let me know in the comments, if you agree or disagree with me. So Be sure to like and subscribe and watch the next video.